might look like the iconic Mercedes-Benz G-Wagen, but underneath here, you don't get a 4-litre twin-turbo V8. In fact, you only get a plastic cover now because this is now the electric G-Wagen called the G580, starting from 958,000 ringgit all the way to 998,000 ringgit for the Edition 1 Launch Edition. Let's find out how different this is to the ICE model. Let's go. I think everyone is familiar by now with how the iconic G63 AMG looks like, but how different is this? There are some changes. Because this is fully electric, the front grille here is completely covered off, and compared to the G63 that has vertical slats over here, this is just a cover on the front bumper. And then on the side here, you get air curtains on the wheel arches. At the back, you get a completely redeveloped rear axle. In terms of weight, this is even heavier than the G63 AMG. The G580 weighs 3 tons. My goodness! Compared to the G63 AMG, the G580's wading depth is 850 millimeters. That is 150 millimeters more than the G63. Other differences to the exterior of the G580 compared to the standard G-Wagen: at the front, you get a slightly raised front bonnet, and at the back here, instead of having a spare tyre, now you get a squarish box to house the charging cables. Even though this G580 is fully electric, it still has the iconic door closing sound of the standard G-Wagen. Check this out. Oh, satisfying. So like I said earlier, we all know the G63 AMG comes with a 4-litre twin turbocharged V8. In this one, no such thing, just a plastic cover, because this comes with 4 individual electric motors, and what you get, 587 horsepower and more than 1,100 Newton meters of torque. 0 to 100, 4.7 seconds, slightly slower than the G63 AMG. Top speed, significantly lower than the petrol-powered G-Wagen, 180 kilometers an hour. Compared to the power figures of the G63 AMG, this one produces more than 300 Newton meters of torque compared to the twin turbocharged V8 model. Ding! No RON 95 needed, no RON 97, RON 100 needed. You need electricity. This car comes with a 116 kWh battery, good for around 473 km of range. In terms of charging, it can take up to 200 kilowatts of DC fast charging, where 0 to 80% takes around 30 minutes. If you opt for AC charging, up to 11 kilowatts, that will take around 11 to 12 hours for a full charge. So the G580 may not have a twin turbocharged V8, but it does have 4 individual electric motors, 1 to power each wheel, and that actually gives it some special powers. The first is called the G-turn, allowing the G580 to spin 360 degrees by rotating the left and right wheels in the opposite direction. The next is called the G-steering, allowing the electric G580 to make really tight turns, essentially with torque vectoring technology. What it does is it will send more power to the outer wheels, allowing the car to make tighter turns more effectively. The next is called the G-roar. Again, because it doesn't have a fire-breathing, roaring V8, this one actually produces sounds that Mercedes says is reminiscent to the V8 sound, and that sound changes according to the drive mode selected. This section here in the ICE G-Wagen, you have switches to control the mechanical differential locks. But this one, because it's electric, this system here uses software to simulate precise differential wheel locking to allow you to have the same off-road capabilities as the petrol-powered G-Wagen. Apparently, it makes the whole diff locking process a lot smoother. It makes the car a lot more responsive compared to the mechanical ones. The electric G580 also comes with something called the off-road crawl mode, which is essentially a cruise control for off-road situations. It has 3 different crawling modes and works in speeds up to 25 kilometers an hour. In terms of the interior design, it is essentially the same, if not nearly identical to the petrol-powered G-Wagen. Inside here, you get some carbon fiber trims. As for the seat upholstery, it is Nappa leather. Traditionally, before this came along, the appeal of a G-Wagen or even the G63 AMG has always been 50% the boxy design, 50% the V8 raw. This one now has this 50% without this 50%. What do you think of the G580? Let me know in the comments. For more information on the new Mercedes-Benz G580 electric, log on to AutoBuzz.my.